All right, Gooners, welcome back to Arsenal Fans Hub. I'm Daniel Watts, and, well, let's be honest. We need to talk about yesterday's match against Newcastle.
It stings, doesn't it?
It really does. It stings a bit.
Hey, everyone, Jessica here. And yeah, definitely not the result we wanted. A 1-0 loss at St. James's Park.
Tough one to swallow.
Yeah, especially when we've been in such good form recently.
Exactly. We're going to go a little bit deeper than the typical post-match chatter today, though. We're going to look at what went wrong, what are the key takeaways, and what this all means for our title hopes.
Big questions.
Because the big question on everyone's mind is, can Arsenal truly bounce back from this?
Exactly. Let's start with that Newcastle goal, which came early in the 12th minute. You might remember Isak's brilliant header set up perfectly by Gordon's cross.
Yeah.
Just classic cross and header combo executed flawlessly, caught Arsenal off guard.
Yeah, it felt like a real punch in the gut so early in the game. And what's interesting is that Newcastle hasn't exactly been known for their attacking prowess this season. Yet yesterday, they showcased that classic football simplicity and effectiveness.
Absolutely.
And their defense. They were like a wall.
Solid.
They held us back for the entire match, showing that resolve and resilience that Eddie Howe talked about.
Yeah. Howe is definitely pleased with their return to form, especially on the defensive end. But for us, it was the attack that really let us down. Can you believe we only had one shot on target the entire match?
Yeah.
And that wasn't even from open play.
That's right. Just one shot on target.
Yeah.
It's almost unbelievable when you consider our expected goals, or XG was actually 1.11. Now, for those unfamiliar with XG, it's basically a statistical measure that analyzes the quality of chances created. So an XG of 1.11 means we should have scored at least one goal based on the chances that we created.
Precisely. And when you think about those missed opportunities, Marino's shot being blocked right on the line,
Oh, so close.
Rice's near miss,
Yeah.
those were golden chances, the kind that usually end up in the back of the net. So it's not that we weren't creating anything.
Right.
It's that we just couldn't finish.
Yeah, we lacked that fluidity and incision we've come to expect from Arsenal. It felt like we were desperately missing that creative spark. And of course, we can't talk about missing things without addressing Ødegaard's absence.
Yeah, his injury has definitely had a major impact on our play. Just to highlight how crucial he is.
We need him back, and quickly, because yesterday really highlighted just how much we rely on his vision and playmaking ability.
Absolutely. But while we wait for his return, let's talk about some individual performances from yesterday. We have to mention Trossard, who has been struggling a bit lately.
Yeah.
Yesterday was no exception. He was on the ball plenty of times, but it felt like he was overthinking things, hesitant to make those decisive moves that we know he's capable of.
Yeah, it's almost like he was trying too hard to fill Ødegaard's shoes, and it ended up backfiring. Remember, Trossard is at his best when he's cutting in from the left, taking on defenders, and creating chaos in the box.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he seemed a bit lost.
And then there was Timber's positioning, which also played a part in our struggles, particularly against Gordon. You see, Timber usually plays as an inverted fullback, which means he often tucks into midfield rather than staying wide.
Right.
This can be really effective in building up play, but yesterday it left a lot of space for Gordon to exploit, and he certainly took advantage.
Yeah, Timber's inverted role usually helps us control the midfield, but yesterday it left us exposed on that left side. We also saw young Waneri come off the bench. And while it's always great to see him get some minutes,
Yeah.
he unfortunately couldn't change the game's outcome. It's a tough spot to come into, to be fair.
Agreed. Now, all of these individual struggles and tactical issues ultimately lead us to the bigger picture, the title race. We can't count this team out just yet. They've shown incredible resilience and fighting spirit. But this loss does raise some important questions about our tactical approach.
I mentioned Timber's inverted role earlier, and it's clear that Arteta's game plan relies heavily on maintaining defensive solidity while also creating chances through quick transitions and intricate passing moves. But yesterday it felt like Newcastle had our number. They were well-organized, disciplined, and they pressed us, effectively disrupting our rhythm and forcing us into mistakes.
It's almost like they'd studied our tactics perfectly and knew exactly how to exploit our weaknesses. And without Ødegaard's creativity in the middle of the park, we lacked that cutting edge to break them down.
So the question is, what can Arteta do to get us back on track? How can we regain that attacking fluidity and dynamism that was so evident in the early part of the season?
Well, for starters, we need Ødegaard back as soon as possible.
Sure.
His absence was sorely felt yesterday. He's the maestro of our attack, the one who unlocks defenses with his incisive passing and vision.
He's the conductor of the orchestra, and without him, the music just doesn't flow as smoothly.
Exactly.
But beyond Ødegaard's return, Arteta might need to consider some tactical tweaks.
Perhaps experimenting with different formations or personnel could help. Remember, we have a talented squad with players who can adapt to different roles. For example, we saw Nwaneri get a chance yesterday, and while he's a fantastic prospect for the future, he couldn't quite influence the game.
We also need to find a way to get Trossard firing on all cylinders again. He's clearly a talented player, but he's been struggling to find his rhythm lately.
I agree. Trossard is at his best when he's cutting in from the left and causing havoc in the penalty area. Maybe a positional switch or a more direct role could help him regain his confidence.
We saw glimpses of his brilliance last season, and we know what he's capable of. But yesterday he seemed hesitant and unsure of himself. Maybe Arteta needs to have a chat with him, remind him of his strengths, and encourage him to be more assertive.
It's all about finding the right balance and getting the best out of each player, but tactical adjustments alone might not be enough. We also need to address the mental side of things. This loss, especially its potential impact on the title race, has to have some psychological effect on the team.
Absolutely. It's below, no doubt about it. And when you're chasing a title, every point dropped feels magnified. Doubt can creep in, and that can be dangerous. But remember, this Arsenal squad has shown incredible resilience before. They've bounced back from tough losses, they've faced adversity head-on, and they've come out stronger.
Think back to the North London derby earlier this season. That same fighting spirit is what we need to see now.
Yeah, it all comes down to leadership, both on and off the pitch. We've talked about Ødegaard's impact on the game, but his leadership as captain is equally crucial. He's the one who sets the tone, rallies the troops, and inspires his teammates. How quickly he can return, not just physically, but mentally, will be a major factor in how the team responds.
Absolutely. His presence alone can lift the spirits of the entire squad. But let's not forget about Arteta. He's a manager known for meticulous planning, tactical flexibility, and his ability to motivate players. This is where his coaching acumen will be truly tested.
Can he instill that belief back into the squad? Can he help them see this loss as a learning experience, a chance to regroup and come back even stronger?
Remember those early weeks of the season when everyone was praising Arteta's tactical masterclass? He guided us to those impressive victories, and he can do it again. He needs to analyze this loss, identify the areas where we fell short, and make the necessary adjustments. And he needs to do it quickly because we have some crucial matches coming up.
We've got the Champions League clash against Inter Milan midweek, followed by another massive test against Chelsea away. Two tough fixtures that will really test our mettle.
These next two matches could be defining moments in our season. They'll tell us a lot about the character of this team, their ability to bounce back from adversity, and their determination to stay in the title race.
And let's not forget about the fans. We have a crucial role to play here, too. It's easy to get caught up in the disappointment and frustration of a loss like this. But this team needs our support now more than ever. We need to create that electric atmosphere at the Emirates, that unwavering belief that they can turn things around.
Think back to 2012 when we were down 4-0 to Reading in the League Cup and somehow managed to pull off a stunning 7-5 victory in extra time, and the fans played a huge part in that comeback. We need that same energy and passion now.
Yeah, we need to be the 12th man pushing the team forward, reminding them that we're in this together. Because that's what being an Arsenal fan is all about. Through the highs and the lows, we stand by our team.
Who knows, maybe this loss will serve as a wake-up call. Maybe it will light a fire under this squad, make them even hungrier for success. Remember, the Premier League is a marathon, not a sprint, and there's still a long way to go.
We've seen this team defy expectations before, and there's no reason why they can't do it again. So let's keep the faith, Gooners. We're in this together.
We've dissected the tactics, analyzed the performances, and explored the psychological impact of this loss. But ultimately, what happens next is up to the team. Let's see how they respond. As always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments what you think Arteta should do to turn things around.
And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Arsenal Fans Hub for more in-depth Arsenal analysis. Until next time, keep the Arsenal flag flying high.